students. Namaste from my heart to your heart. Happy new moon. This moon is fabulous. If you get a chance, please have a look outside. Be careful obviously looking at the sun, but the incredible rainbow that's around the sun for the last few days is so magical. It really, really is. This new moon is all about changes, as new moons are. They're all about new beginnings. But we've been in lockdown for so long now, so hopefully you've shifted some of those stagnant thought patterns or any kind of exercise regime that you've always said to yourself, I haven't time, I can't do it, that you've actually now managed to feel the strength. Maybe you've felt a couple of areas in your body that have started to release, and it's starting to shift, really shift. So anyhow, today is all about psoas and into the piriformis. Our psoas muscle is in control of our lower back, is in control of our pelvis and flexion of the hip. So if you have any problems in your psoas, you're going to have problems in maybe lower abdominals, hip flexion, and all around your pelvis area. Piriformis is what we're also going to be working at, which is the area that's just underneath your glute maximus. So we're going to be concentrating on the first part, which is going to be healing, targeting those areas. The second section, anyone that's really struggling with enormous pains and tightness, please don't do the second section just yet. Concentrate on really nailing the first section and making sure that you're at least 70% pain-free. We as a group, as students and teacher, we have done some of the asanas in section 2, but they're very strong. So it's almost, think about having a headache or a migraine and you don't like the bright lights, and the migraine actually is triggered even more with bright lights. Why would you go outside in the sunshine and sunbathe with a headache already? So exactly the same. So what I want you to do first of all, we're not going to go into Sufi grind, we're going to come into butterfly pose. So this is where the soles of the feet are together. And what you're probably experiencing to start with is already a tightness in the hips. Please do not flatten your hips down. Lift up through the lower back, middle back and upper back, and just let your hips relax. I'm holding on to my ankles because it forms that lovely triangle where I can open up through chest, shoulders and back. Breathing in through the front part of your body, and as you breathe out, just relax the pelvis. Doesn't mean push, doesn't mean pull, it just means relax. Be aware of the spine, whether you feel that the spine is upright, but you're not holding it to such a degree of tension, so an upright soldier that's standing to attention. Don't put so much force into these movements. How is the pelvis? Are you tilting the pelvis forward, or are you tucking your tailbone under and opening up through your navel joint? So butterfly has a very smooth, relaxing flutter. And this isn't to stretch through the ligaments and twang them. This is just to put a little bit of ease throughout the muscle. I'm hardly moving, where there's no trauma going through. It's really, really lovely. This gives your mind and your body enough time to catch up with each other. Butterfly's lovely. Don't ever feel that you have to get both of your knees and outside of your thighs flat to the ground. You don't have to do that. Remember, your legs, your hips are ball and socket, and sometimes you don't want to be that Barbie doll where you open up the legs and it pops out of its socket. Brings back memories of childhood. Beautiful. Just release, bring the inner thighs together, ground your feet on the floor. If you've sat on something for your pelvis alignment, come off. So I'm rolling on my feet as well as windscreen wipers for my pelvis. So what I'm currently going to do is rotate into my pelvis, open up through the piriformis and draw the knees together, and then center to the other side. And just keep moving round and round. What I want you to almost feel like is that the buttock muscle is at its full stretch and you're rolling the glute onto the floor. I'm stacking the outside inside of my feet together, you see, where I can draw the inner thighs, that beautiful stretch all the way down your lumbar spine, which is a connection to your psoas muscle as well. And again, have that conscious awareness. Do you feel what's going on? I can feel everything that's going on in my glutes, my outer thigh. Perfect. And then I'm rocking from one side back into the center. One of my legs is ever so loose. Doesn't matter how loose it can be. You can go into a single side angle. You can go into a half butterfly. Whatever works for you to create relaxation in one leg. The other leg, we're going to rock the baby. So we go up and under the calf muscle. If you can, interlace the hands and rock the baby. This is a real gentle massage. Squeeze into the pelvis, into the hip socket, which again attaches itself to your psoas. We're so complex, aren't we? Such complex creatures. But this doesn't have to be painful. This just needs to be acknowledged, and you need to feel what's going on. So this leg now, I'm going to turn into my pelvis and hip. So this is what I'm going to do. I can currently see the inside of my knee, but I want to actually see the outside of my knee. So really gently, I'm going to turn the leg into deer pose. You see now how I've got the outside of the leg really relaxed. The opposite leg, which is also bent for me, is now going to go into a single leg forward fold. So you don't need to feel painful in this, you just need to feel relaxed. Breathe into the chest, exhale and full fold. So for some of you, you might feel this straight away on the back of the hamstrings. If you do, have a slight bend in the knee and place your arm underneath the knee. Because I don't want so much of the hamstrings to go twang. This exercise is all about lower back, middle back. Put some strength in. Take a breath, push the back into the belly. Lift up through the chest and be strong in your spine. We're looking for an incredibly strong spine. That way it can deal with trauma in the psoas and IT band. So these are yin style. Healing, restorative, deep psoas. Beautiful. Take a breath, just lift the body on up. You can hold this for longer and you can continue to do this again later on if you wish. So I'm going to gently undo this kneecap and I'm going to bend the knee and flatten the foot to the ground. Then I'm going to give the whole knee a hug into my chest and work those spinal, erector spinae muscles. Relax into that thigh however you feel fit on this hip, and let's rock the baby on the other side. Remember, your legs are different. One leg may be bent, the other leg might need to be straight. Work with what God has given you and then tweak it. Really beautiful. I love Rock the Baby. Such a gentle massage. But then again, if you're suffering from problems, it's quite a deep massage. So draw the inside of the knee towards you and then gently Rotate so the outside of the knee is behind you. This is your single leg forward fold. Deer pose with one leg, the other leg single extension, single leg extension. So again, from here, making sure that the pelvis feels comfortable, lift up through the chest and forward fold. Please don't take it to a point where your hamstrings feel that they're really struggling, and if they are, bend the knee, place the arm under and lift up through your spine. If you want a little bit of hamstring action, and I don't mean something where you've changed your face where it's painful, then feel free to relax the leg. But if you feel that the back's starting to do this, adapt that lower back, middle back, upper back connection. Chest is open and lifted. Beautiful. Feel how your body connects, or feel how your body doesn't connect. In breath to lift up through your chest, and gently return this hip, knee and ankle joint in front of you. Give those legs a little windscreen wipe, just from one side to the other. Magic. So we're taking ourselves into a wide forward fold, wide Uttanasana. So with the legs lovely and wide, I want you to tweak into the glutes, your sit bones, and that way when your sit bones, let's move this, that way when your sit bones, trying to get the legs so you can see, when your sit bones are open, you know that your pelvis has a good chance of realignment. Now just relax your legs and have a look at how your feet are. Your feet are really, really important. Do they roll forward? Do they roll out? Can you flex the feet without activating too much into the hamstrings? Perfect. Then what we're going to do is lift up the bands, the fibres into the back, lean forward slightly. When you're here, place your arms or hands in front of you, and then adapt that lower back, middle back and upper back stretch. So it's that lovely thin invisible thread. So first of all, those that want to go deeper, you'll find yourself wanting to do this, which is fine. It's hamstrings, but we're here to sort out piriformis and psoas. So invisible thread on the top of your head. Lift the head, the throat, the neck, the chest, the spine. Plenty of time for flexibility. Let's get these muscles sorted first before you then sort out your flexibility on a deeper scale. Adjust the feet. When you move around in the feet, does this adjust how the pelvis feels? Does this adjust how it tweaks into the glute? Do you remember your glute maximus? And underneath that is your psoas. So work your feet and ankles and see whether suddenly you can feel that in those areas. Every time that you feel that you want to collapse the spine, breathe back in and lift up. Soften the spine, take a breath, uncurl the body. Wonderful. I forgot to say that actually we need a strap or a scarf. I know it's not winter, but some of you may have a lovely scarf, or even your husband's, boyfriend's, lovers tie around. So I want you to find out whether, yes, do you have a problem in your piriformis and do you have a problem in your psoas? Press pause if you need to, I'll wait for you. Come on down with your scarf and let the spine have contact with the floor. Remember to roll the spine, don't just flatten the spine flat. So one of my legs is straight. One of my knees is bent. So will I use the strap in a moment or the tie? So can you draw the knee into your chest, and what happens to your hip flexor here? Some of you might find that the leg wants to lift, and that way that you know that you have a real shortage going on. You've got a lovely muscle group coming down, iliopsoas. That works into your iliac crest, and that goes into your psoas muscle. So adjust your spine, your shoulders, your neckline. Draw the knee in towards the chest and feel what goes on in the opposite leg. Most of us are so concerned with what goes on in this leg. It's actually the healing process in the opposite. The leg that's straight, the one on the floor, draw the toes towards you. Beautiful. Just breathe. Breathe out and draw the knee in a little bit closer. The psoas muscle is incredibly tight for those that are seated for long periods of time. Any persons that has a desk-bound job, taxi drivers, lorry drivers, even those sedentary people, if you're retired and you sit down for a long period of time, this can cause you incredible pain, especially in the lower back. And most people think they have back problems when in actual fact they have psoas problems. Bend into both kneecaps. Beautiful. Shorten a little bit. Extend through the other leg. And gently feel what happens. Take a breath when the leg is flat. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. And once again, pay attention to what goes on the other hip. Flatten the shoulders, open up through the chest. Just breathe. Just breathe. Hopefully your strap, your tie, your scarf is near you. I'm going to lift up through my spinal, my rectus spinal muscles, and place that around the top of my balls of my feet. One leg is straight. Now we're going to extend both of our legs. Shoulders are flat, spine is flat, elbows are bent. This is all that we need to do. It's a beautiful way to work, isn't it? Really beautiful way to heal the body. That I've gone into sections for you guys, because it really targets the area that we need. We've got such complex muscles, tissues, ligaments, fibres, but by trying to narrow it down into sections, it allows you to analyse not necessarily where the pain is, but where you can feel tightness. Tightness and pain, they are linked, but they're not in the same place. I'm going to bend the knee that's extended, bend the knee that's on the floor, and then draw the knee up so the other sole of the foot is flat. Extend through the leg gently so we're not tearing into the ligaments. When both legs are straight, open up and flatten the spine. Can you feel the difference between one leg and the other? It may not be in the iliopsoas, it may be the hamstring. Feel the tightness. Feel the uncomfortableness. I don't want you to experience pain, it's uncomfortableness. Bend in the knee that's extended, bend the knee that's on the ground, and I'm drawing both feet in, about hip width distance, and then straighten the legs. Ensure that the buttock is flat to the ground, so your tendency is to draw the legs towards you. Roll the whole of your lower back sacrum tailbone and have the legs straight. You won't be able to get all of the tailbone down because the legs then are going to be at an angle. So I'm pushing the lower back into the floor and just open up the soles of my feet. If it's painful, of course, bend your knees. So coming up away from this asana, I want you to roll onto your side. We're bending both the kneecaps, sliding the soles of the feet together, rolling onto the knees and using your upper body to come up. That way your psoas and your iliopsoas and crest, everything's still in there. I would say your safe mode, so yanking your body forwards and backwards just jars, and that's not what we're trying to do today. So you've gone into that beautiful strap work. Now find your all fours for the moment. I want you to come up into rotational hip in downward dog, Ardha Mukha, and then straight into pigeon pose. So when you're ready to breathe in, I want you to lift up into down dog and open up and rotate into your hips. Remember which way you're going. Take a breath in. Breathe out, use your upper body strength, come back down onto all fours. Other direction, inhale, lift up, head through the shoulders, rotate the other direction. Take a breath in, exhale into pigeon pose, knee to chest, come out at the angle. Now many of you have done pigeon pose for a million times, brilliant. Ensure that you're centre, so you're not leaning from one side, your buttock is not leaning to the other, and you've got that lovely tailbone dip. The leg behind you is incredibly long. The reason for that is I want you to stretch into that beautiful iliopsoas going down your quadricep. The other leg works into the psoas, so it's important to get this knee out to the side so it's not in front of us. Connect tailbone, connect sacrum, and lengthen the rear leg. Your foot is flat behind you. If you've got your toes tucked under, then you've got your shin bones that are just fully exposed and they're not working. The bone's getting a little bit trauma there. So flatten. If you need a little bit of height, you've got a block that you can place your hands on to lift yourselves up. If, however, you do want to collapse to the floor, wrong word, relax to the floor, then do so with your spine, like little tram lines, rolling your spine down onto forearms so you've got that lovely length in your spine. If you relax your head, it's fine, but the back of the neck needs to be in line. Breathe into your spine. Breathe out into your tailbone, the buttock, the hip, the thigh. Just turning my head slightly. As you know, when we worked into shoulders, those beautiful fibres and tissues, they're all connected from the neckline all the way down into my spine. Just going to move a lovely little baby spider out of the way, bless him. When you're ready to come up into your other down dog on the other side, hip rotation, secure your hands so they're close to you. You need a lovely bit of upper body strength. Now you can tuck the rear toes under. First of all, I would straighten the body in high plank and lengthen through the front of my hips. Then when you're ready to lift up with your lower back and glutes. Find your down dog, tippy toes is fine. Take a breath in to lift and rotate your hips. Take a breath in, breathe out and come back down. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up and rotate the other side. Be strong in your arms. Take a breath in. As you exhale, pigeon pose. Watching the legs, making sure the whole body works together. So what I've done is I've lifted up my hip, really pushed it and nestled it down towards the floor. I'm not rotated, I'm actually in line with the ground. Adjust the knee accordingly. Remember, you don't want it to bite too much, but let's not have it in front of us. Let's have it at a beautiful angle. Nestle the belly button, your navel point, so it's in line with the floor, and decide a beautiful up spine, or are you ready to come on down? Forearms, let's try not to collapse the body. Now at some point it'd be really nice for you to do this in front of a mirror so you can actually see your alignment and especially see your back. Again, once again, I'm going to turn the head just a couple of times, and I can feel that beautiful connection in my rotator cuff. I can feel the connection in my infraspinatus, into my rhomboids and lats, all going down the upper back. Wonderful. Why not massage these fibers as you're in a beautiful static asana? Then I'm centering my chin to chest, dropping the chin down so the back of my neck is open. When you're ready to come up, hands are grounded, a bit close to you, lift on up. Now you can allow that back glute to sit down to the floor whilst the other leg comes in front of you. Oh. How does that feel? Do you know what I experience with doing these stretches is it's so delicious to go really slow. It's like my body melts into these stretches. But what I also find is when I come away from these, my hips and back feels incredibly amazing. And then I'm ready to go into section 2 because I've lengthened them and nurtured them. But then I need to think, do I really now need to strengthen them, or do they need a day's rest before I do the next section? So we want to heal our bodies every single day, and why can't you? Pop some music on, come into some really delicious flows. It's great. So back into windscreen wipers, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the hands and fingers behind me because I'd like to open up through the chest. And again, the buttock muscles are sat down and I'm rolling from one side to another. What I feel is really nice on this occasion is I've noticed how much more I can twist from one side to the other. My hips, my glutes, my psoas muscle, everything has moved where I feel completely different in this. It in one place for a while and enjoy that lovely stretch down the lower back. Also the stretch down the rear arm. So the arm that's fully behind you, front deltoids. Deltoids are your shoulders. Take a breath. Relax as you breathe out to the other side. Wonderful. Such a beautiful, beautiful day. Center as you breathe in. So I want you just for 1 minute to find a position that's comfortable for your legs, your hips, your glutes, and your spine. So I'm going to sit back into Sukhasana. I find this incredibly comfortable. Lift up through the front half of the chest and spread the width of your shoulders. Now the chin is neutral, so we're not dropped, we're not lifted. We're just finding that cradle for the head to sit in. Close the eyes for a moment. How does everything feel? Feels like it's had a little wave of a magic wand. Breathe in through your nostrils. Breathe out through your mouth. In through the nostrils, out through the mouth, and again in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Closed. This is the day of the full moon. Take a moment with your favourite drink, chai latte, cup of coffee, herbal tea. Grab a pen and paper. Write down some really important issues, changes that you would like to see within yourself, your lifestyle, your future. Write them down in detail. Manifest. Ask the universe what you would like. Be specific. Dates, times, months, years. Fold the piece of paper, take it to your garden, take it to your barbecue or your fire pit. Be safe, set light to this piece of paper and watch the smoke go up to the universe. If it's on your ground, then stamp all the remains back into Mother Earth. See your beautiful thoughts unravel. Don't be impatient. Wait and see. Beautiful creatures, happy new moon. I'll see you in the second section, but only if you didn't struggle with any deep pain. If you do, please do the first section as many times as you can in the week. Happy recovery, happy healing. Om Namah Shivaya.